Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball. We got ourselves an interesting one here tonight. We got the 4-3 Cleveland Forest Cities. I'm sorry, not Cleveland Forest, the Chicago White Stockings. I messed that up. It's not the Cleveland Forest, it's the Chicago White Stockings that are 4-3. Um, Let me fix the title. Uh, and also fix my score sheet because I wrote them down as Cleveland. But we got the 4-3 Chicago White Stockings, and they will be going up against the 5-8 Rockford Forest Citys. Now, Rockford is the team I actually manage. I won't manage the pitch to pitch, the at bat to bat. I'm not going to manage the game at all, but I manage the team in terms of the rosters and everything else. And they've had an interesting season so far. They were down there in the doldrums, somewhere around like 1-4, 1-5, I think, 2-4 at some point, maybe 2-6 even. They are now 5-8, so they're trying to fight back to 500. Chicago White Stockings are 4-3. They're trying to keep pace as well because the Boston Red Stockings are sitting at 8-2. And they're the best team in baseball, is Boston. So we're going to go over the starting lineups here for these two. Starting with the visiting Chicago White Stockings. Leading off will be left fielder George Betchel. He's batting 152, 3 RBI so far this season. Bill Kelly, the center fielder, will bat second. He is batting 312 with 4 RBI so far this season. Levy Mayerly is the big batter, batting 345. He's got 1 home run, 3 RBI so far this season. Gat Stiers will bat fourth. He's batting 321, 1 home run, 2 RBI so far this season. Mark King, catcher, bats fifth. He's batting 258, 3 RBIs this season. Everett Mills bats sixth. The first baseman has a 226 average with 2 RBIs so far this season. Charlie Hodes, the shortstop, will bat seventh. He's batting 192 with 1 home run, 4 RBIs so far this season. Sam Jackson, second baseman, will bat eighth, bat 115 with 1 RBI. And then Cherokee Fisher is the hot hitter, batting 448 so far this season, 6 RBIs, both of which lead the team, and he's the pitcher. For the Rockford Forest Citys, Cap Anson leads it off. He's batting 397, 5 RBIs. George Hall bats second. He is batting 234, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs so far this season. Ross Barnes bats third. He's got a 328 average, 8 RBIs so far this season. Lip Pike, the right fielder, will bat fourth. He's batting 305 with 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Doug Allison is the hot hitter. He is batting fifth. Catcher. He's batting 356 with 10 RBIs so far. Joe Start, first baseman, is in the 6th spot. He's batting 281 with 4 RBIs. George Bird bats 7th. 315, 8 RBIs so far this season. George Wright batting 235 is in the 8th spot. The shortstop's got 4 RBIs so far this season. And rounding it off is Dick McBride with a 319 average and 2 RBIs so far this season. On the mound, Cherokee Fisher for the Chicago White Stockings. 4-3 record with a 1.02 ERA and a 1.01 whip. On the opposite mound is Dick McBride. He's got a 4-7 record with a 2.82 ERA and a 1.2 whip. It's a 105 first pitch start, 798 in attendance here today. 68 degrees for those of you that use Celsius. That is probably around, I'd say that's probably around 20, I want to say. Yeah, 20. That's 20. And wind's blowing in from the left at 10 miles an hour. Here we go. Here we go. The Chicago White Stockings, the Rockford Forest Citys. We're going to get things underway here from the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds in Rockford, Illinois. Here's the first pitch. And that's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Underway with a strike is Dick McBride. First batter is George Betchel. Left fielder settling in. Here's the 0-1. That's below the knees for a ball. 1-1. Opening inning means opening sponsor of the stream today. Go give Blockbuster a follow if you haven't already. Rainbow Six Siege, Football Manager, COD Warzone. Does a little bit of everything. Pretty cool guy. Streams a little bit more infrequently now because he's in uni, but is a great streamer nonetheless. Go give him a follow if you haven't already. The great Blockbuster V20. Blockbuster is our sponsor for this first inning. The only thing I haven't done is load in the you know how I like to load in the music between innings and also take me out to the ball game. So I got to load that up now very quickly. All right, cool. So that stuff's ready to go, right? Right. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That swung on, lined into right field. That is going to drop foul. And we'll do it again at 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's below the knees, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3. And the opening batter's worked a full count here. George Betchel. Here's the payoff pitch from Dick McBride. Swung on, grounded over to short. That's going to be a tough play, and it's a bad throw. It's an E5. George Betchel reaches on an E5, and the game starts with an error. I'm sorry, E6, not E5. It wasn't the third baseman. It was the shortstop. And George Wright has got himself the first error of the afternoon, and Chicago have got themselves the first base runner of the afternoon. He's aboard here with nobody out. That's going to bring up Bill Kelly, center fielder. Here's a throw over to first, and the runner is back in time. Here's the first pitch. That is popped up, and that will land into the seats. Here's the 0-1. Inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. That's popped up, shallow center. And shortstop George Wright's there to make the play. He will. And that'll retire Bill Kelly. 1 on, 1 out here. Levy Mayerly will step in now. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's the first pitch to him. And that's a called strike. Throw over to second. Not in time. Betchel stolen second base. He looked likely to until Kelly fell behind in the count. This time he goes first pitch, and he's got second base. So runner in scoring position now, 1 out. Here's the 0-1 to Mayerly. Grounded over towards the shortstop, and he's made another error. George Wright's got 2 errors in the inning. And now it's first and second. And he's got the second best defensive rating in the infield, by the way. He's got a 68. He's made 2 errors. Anson's defense has improved. He used to be like I think a 6 or an 8, and now he's on 11. But even then, that's surprising from Wright. Betchel doesn't move on the error, so it'll be first and second, 1 out. It'll be Gat Stiers settling in now. Here's the first pitch to Stiers, and that's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded to the backstop. It'll be 0-2. Stiers in the hole, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Off the plate away, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate again, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off the plate away. 3-2. And now here's the full count pitch. That is shot high and deep into left center field. And it's off the very top of the wall. It almost leaves the yard. It stays in. And over to third base is Gat Stiers, and he's got himself a 2 RBI triple. Coming in to score is Betchel. Coming in to score is Mayerly. And Chicago has opened this game up right away. 2-0. That'll bring up Mart King, the catcher. Runner 90 feet away. Just one out. Here's the first pitch to him. That's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Check swing, they go to third, and the umpire there says he didn't go, so it'll be 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's shot into left field, but it will drift foul. Counts even, here's the pitch. And that's outside, ball 3. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's shot into left. That could drop. It will. Base hit. Stiers will score. And it's an RBI single for Mart King. And Chicago's got a 3-0 lead. That'll bring up Everett Mills, first baseman. Here's the first pitch to Mills. That's a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a ball, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's grounded over to first. On to second, they get the lead runner. Fielder's choice, 3-4, or 3-6, sorry, for Everett Mills. So he's aboard, but there's 2 outs now. Charlie Hodes steps in, shortstop. Here's the first pitch to Hodes, and that is a pass ball. And going to second is Everett Mills. It's a calamity of errors in the first inning here for Rockford. Here's the 1-0. That is popped up into left field. Left fielder going back, and it just lands foul. I mean, it landed just off the foul part of the wall. So 1-1 to count. Here's the pitch. That's low, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 2-2. The 2-2 now. Grounded over to third. On to first, that's in time, and the side is finally retired. So, 3 runs on. I forgot to. I've totally forgot to hit. This was the triple. This was a single. There we go. So 3 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go bottom first here in Rockford. Chicago's jumped out to a 3-0 lead. We are going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Sorry. EVC and NYC2 was up, and Pat Wits have gone live. So I wanted to tab them up real quick. So I took a minute to do so. Right. Bottom first. Chicago got a 3-0 lead already. It's Cap Anson who will lead things off for the Rockford Forest Citys. 31 pitches from Dick McBride in that top half of the inning. Here's the first pitch. And that's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is shot into left field. Drifting foul. Is it going to land there? Yes, it will. That'll be 0-1. Or 0-2, sorry. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Popped up. In foul territory. Playable. Catcher's there. That's Mart King who gloves it. And Anson is retired on a P2. That'll bring up George Hall, left fielder. Here's the first pitch to Hall. And that's inside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Grounded right back up the middle base hit. George Hall's aboard with a single here in the bottom of the first. I'll bring up Ross Barnes, second baseman. Here's the first pitch to Barnes. And that's inside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. That swung on, chopped, grounded foul. Over to first, safe is the call. It's an infield single. Barnes beats out the throw. Going to second is George Hall. Everett Mills was looking for Fisher to come over to cover the bag, and Fisher just couldn't get over in time. And so first and second, one out. And one of the big guns at the plate, Lip Pike. The right fielder settles in. Here's the first pitch. Grounded shot over to second. They get the one. It'll be a fielder's choice. FC 4-6. That puts Pike on first. Barnes is the runner retired. Hall goes to third. Runners on the corners, 2 outs here. That'll bring up catcher Doug Allison. Allison settling in. Here's the throw over to first, and Pike is back in time. Here's the first pitch. That's high and wide for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Grounded over to short. They throw it to second, and that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go top second here in Rockford. Chicago's got a 3-0 lead. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings is second baseman Sam Jackson. New inning means it's time for a new sponsor. Pixelated Suit streams FM 26. Here he is now, streaming FM 26. Uh-oh. What? He plays FM 26. He plays Skate. He plays Battlefield 6. He's got Black Ops 7. Give him a follow if you haven't already. He's an awesome individual. Big New York Cosmos fan and New York Red Bull fan. Pixelated Suits. He's an awesome individual. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Pixelated Suits is our sponsor for this second inning. Right. Top second. Chicago's got a 3-0 lead. Sam Jackson will settle in. Looking to take the W instead of the L this afternoon. Here's the first pitch coming to him from Dick McBride. I was trying to make a Samuel L. Jackson joke, but I just thought better of it. And that's wide, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Grounded over towards third. They both dive and miss. It's a single for Sam Jackson. And Chicago's got the leadoff runner aboard for the second straight inning. Surprisingly. Damn, Everton are just giving it to Forest. 3-0. Wow. That'll bring up Cherokee Fisher, the pitcher. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a ball? Maybe too high? I don't know. I don't know where that missed. But it's ball one. Here's the 1-0. And that's shot foul. Right near third base. It'll be 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Lined right at, it's through the third baseman's legs. Anson can't get it. It's another single. And it's back-to-back singles for Chicago to start. Or did he go to third? He goes to third. He went to third. Runner tried second. Runner from second tries for third. Safe. He's got third base. But it was an out. Hang on. Game lock. Sam Jackson went to, he went to second. He stretched it to a double. No. Single. Oh, he's single. Yeah, he's got a single. So he should be on first. Where the hell's Cherokee Fisher? Sam Jackson is second. Runner from second tries for third. Safe. So where's Jackson? Oh. Out. 7-6-4. So they threw him out at second. So he tried to stretch it to a double. And they threw him out at second base. Okay. So Hall threw it to right. The runner from second went to third. Fisher tried for second, thinking that he was going to be able to take second because the play was going to focus on Jackson going to third. Instead, Wright throws it to Barnes at second base, and Barnes tags out Cherokee Fisher. So it gets recorded as a single and then a 7-6-4. Okay. So 1 out, runner on third. Welcome in, Skull. How are you, man? Good to see you. You got everything sorted, I think? Okay. I figured as much when you didn't DM me. I figured as much. All right. George Betchel settles in. He reached via an error his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Betchel. That's a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's grounded over towards third. That's a fielding error on Anson, and Jackson will score on the fielding error. So Jackson scores. Sorry. And then Betchel he's reached twice via an error now. One on an E6, one on an E5. That's crazy. Anson's got his first error of the afternoon. Still stuff to do, but all the important things are done. Nice. Good to hear that, man. I don't even know what you were trying to do, but you don't have to share if you don't want to. Right, that's going to bring up Bill Kelly, center fielder. He popped up to the shortstop his last at bat. Here's the first pitch from Kelly. Swung on and missed. The throw over to second is not in time. And Betchel stolen second base. He's got his second stolen base of the afternoon. One out, runner on second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's taken inside for a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's, I think, low. Maybe just off the plate away, 2-1. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, I have to sit down some weekend and really figure out mix-it-up bot. 4-0 for Chicago. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That is off the plate away. Check swing, but they go to third, and he definitely didn't go. There's the 3-1 pitch. That is flied into left, and that will land foul. And it'll be a full count pitch coming to Bill Kelly. Strike! Oh, no, I thought it was a strike. What the fuck? I was ready to do the motion and everything. I was ready to punch him out, and that shit was a ball? Oh, can I not ask for a replay? Can we get some VAR? What? How? Where did that miss? Where did that miss? Is that the pitch right there? That, oh, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That was close. But it's a base on balls. I was ready to punch him out, dude. And Bill Kelly gets the base on balls. And so it'll be first and second here, 1 out. Here's Levy Mayerly, reached via an error his last at bat. Here we go. And that's a called strike. Throw over the third. It's not in time. Oh, I thought Kelly stole second. Why would you not double steal? But George Betchel's got 2 stolen bases. Here's yeah, I think so. I think you do. Here's the 0-1. Throw over to first. Runners back safely. Here's the 0-1. That is popped up into right field. That should be, it's going to land foul. I think the U.S. got arguably the best group it possibly could have gotten. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Throw over to first. I don't know. He's got no speed. I don't know why you're trying to pick off attempt. Here's the 0-2. That's grounded over to third. Another error on Cap Anson. It's been 4 errors in 2 innings for Rockford. Betchel scores. Kelly gets the second. Mayerly's aboard. So now both Betchel and Mayerly have reached base in back-to-back innings on errors. And still there's only 1 out. First and second, here's Gat Stiers. He had a 2 RBI triple his last at-bat. And this one's grounded right back to the mound. The throw over to second is in time. They got him. So that's a 1-6 on the, it's a fielder's choice 1-6. So FC 1-6. That puts Stiers aboard on first. Mayerly is the man they throw out at second. Kelly gets to third base. With 8 third places teams going through, it's less pressure. Yeah, that's true. I really think the group stage is going to have some. I think the World Cup is going to have this problem that the Euros had, where the big teams are going to really play for the draw against each other in the groups. And those games are going to be abysmal to watch. And then they'll try to pick up points against, those nations that are like first timers, like Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan, right? So, I think the problem, I think that problem's is more exacerbated in the Euros because a lot of the teams are good in the Euros. So, teams are much more happier to smash and grab in the Euros, whereas the World Cup, the teams are from different regions, so they want to have a go at each other. No, they get it. Yeah, exactly. So, but I think the World Cup won't be as bad as the Euros, because I think in the Euros, everybody, especially since Greece won in like 2000, everybody thinks it's possible. So teams like, a Greece or a Turkey or things like that, they're willing to play smash and grab, and the teams like England and Spain and Germany, they're more willing to just take the draw against each other if they're in each other's groups, because they know that they get to play Bosnia and Herzegovina. You know what I mean? And it's no disrespect to those nations, but you know what I mean? Like, and that's why I think the Euros, I thought the last Euros was a horrible tournament. I thought it was an extremely, on the men's side at least, extremely boring tournament to watch. And I think it's because they've expanded the field. I think if it had, once you start to lessen the meaning of points, it gets to become a pretty boring spectacle. Right, here's Mark King. RBI single his last at bat. Here we go. First pitch to King. That's inside, ball one. I don't think it'll be as bad as the World Cup because, again, the African teams, the South American teams, the North American teams, they're going to want to have a go at you. They want to have a go at you. So if you're a European team or whatnot. So, and the Asian teams are pretty good. Like Iran is really good. I think Iran can really run their group. I think a lot of people are going to be shocked. So here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. There's the 1-1 pitch. That's fouled to the backstop. 1-2. I think Algeria is going to surprise everyone. That too. But they were always a decent footballing nation, Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled to the backstop. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Another foul ball to the backstop. We stay 1-2 here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's slow, ball 2. City beat Sunderland. That's unfortunate. Everton beating Forest is good for us. Here's the 2-2. Grounded over to third. Is this another error coming? Oh, my cap. It's another E5. So last inning, okay, thanks for the shout. You're welcome, Picks. Last inning, it was George Wright who had 2 errors. Cap Anson has made 3. And Rockford have made 5 in 2 innings. Kelly scores. Stiers goes to second. King is aboard, and it's still at the. Oh shit! That's right. The MLS finals today. Man, I don't want to watch Miami lift the cup. Right. First and second. 2 outs. Here's Everett Mills. He reached via fielder's choice his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's out. That's way high and way. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Popped up in the infield. Rockford have a way out of this inning, and they will take it. It will be Doug Allison who gloves it, and the side is finally retired. 3 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the second, and Chicago's opened up a 6-0 lead. We are going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. We are back, bottom second here in Rockford. It's not going well for the home side, who's trying to turn around a pretty rough season so far. Joe Start, first baseman, settling in. 5 errors have not done them any favors, though. It means Dick McBride's had to burn through 57 pitches in the opening 2 innings. Here is the first pitch to Joe Start. Grounded right over to second base, on to first, and it's 1 pitch, 1 out here to start the inning for Rockford. That'll bring up George Bird, center fielder. Here is the first pitch to Bird. That's a called strike. It's on 1. Give me a second. I've had a notification here. And I saw it pop up on the phone, and I'm like, that's actually an important. You know the ones. That's not what I wanted, at all whatsoever. Get it, fucking. You know the ones that pop up on your phone. I'm like, hold on, let me take care of that real quick. That's what I just had pop up. Of course, my browser is loading real slow, so. Badger told me he just finished gouging his eyes out at that Chelsea game. They're out of form, aren't they? Or they're starting to slip out of form, that's for sure. Here's the 0-1. Off the plate inside, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's a called strike. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to George Bird. And he's grounded that foul. We'll do it again. Here's the 1-2. Back up the middle, over to second. He's on to first. That's in time, and it's 2 away here in the bottom second. George Wright settling in. The shortstop, here's the first pitch to Wright, and that's off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's lined in the gap in left. It's a base hit for George Wright. That'll bring up pitcher Dick McBride. Here's the first pitch to him. That's off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Below the knees, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. He's grounded that foul. 2-1 it will be. Here's the 2-1 pitch. He's fouled that to the backstop. 2-2 now. Counts even. Here's the pitch. Throw over to first. Runner is back on time. Here's the 2-2. Lined into right. Base hit for Dick McBride. And now it will be first and second with 2 outs here in the second for Rockford. We go top order. Cap Anson 2 up. He popped up to the catcher his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's taken for a called strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2. And Anson's in a hole here. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Grounded that foul to stay alive in the at bat. Here's the 0-2. That's taken high and away. 1-2. The 1-2. High and away. Ball 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He's taking it off the plate below the knees. 3-2. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Grounded that right back up to the mound. On to first. That's in time. And the side is retired. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard. We go top third here in Rockford. And Chicago's got a 6-0 lead. 2 up first for the Chicago White Stockings is shortstop Charlie Hodes. New ending means new sponsor. Arilax plays Football Manager. Here he is playing FM 26. Yeah, I'm fully recovered. Oh, go on. Go on. Scored a goal. I hope that's your team. There you go. The joys of Football Manager. That's a great clip. Go give him a follow if you're into Football Manager and you haven't already. Arilax is our sponsor for this third inning here today. Right. Dick McBride about to throw his 58th pitch, and he's only pitched 2 innings so far. Here it is. And that's grounded foul down the third base side. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2. And it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. They go to third. He definitely didn't go. 1-2 the count now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off the plate away, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 1 away. That's going to bring up Sam Jackson, second baseman. He singled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Jackson. That's a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Off the plate inside, 1-1. The 1-1. Off the plate inside, 2-1 now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Shot back up through the middle. On to first, and that's in time for the second out of the inning. 6-3 on the putout. And Jackson is set down. That'll bring up pitcher Cherokee Fisher. He singled and got thrown out trying to extend his single into a double in his last at-bat. Here's the first pitch to him. And that's high and away, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Grounded out to the backstop, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He's popped that into center field, going back there, and it's over the center fielder's head. Fisher's aboard with another knock. This time he does get his double. And Chicago's got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, it'll be George Bechtel. He's reached twice via an error. Here's the first pitch. He's grounded that foul. It'll be 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Called. Strike 2. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. He's hit him. I think Betchel's trying to get aboard to be all nine chances. For those that don't know, there's 9 ways you can get on base in baseball. 9 ways, right? An error, a hit, a base on balls, hit by the pitch, fielder's choice, interference, drop third strike, and I actually don't know what the other one is. I don't know what's the other one. I know there's 9. I'm pretty sure it's 9. A hit, a walk, a base on balls, hit by the pitch, drop third strike, error, fielder's choice, right? Interference. And I can't remember. Right. That'll be somebody in the YouTube comments when I eventually upload this that'll tell me. Right. Here is, this will be Bill Kelly settling in. He is 0 for 1 so far today. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Called strike, it's 1-1. Somebody's going to be like, oh, it's a home run. Well, that's a hit. That's classified as a hit. You know. Here's the 1-1. Popped up in the infield. First baseman's over there. He'll make the grab, and the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom third here in Rockford. 6-0 Chicago. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom third here in Rockford. George Hall settling in. He's 1 for 1 so far today. And he will lead it off here for Rockford in the third. First pitch to him. Off the plate away, ball 1. Here's a 1-0. Way inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, grounded over to first. He'll take it himself, and that will be the first out of the inning. U3 is on the putout. That'll bring up Ross Barnes, second baseman. He had a single his last at bat. I don't actually run any mods on this at all. Here's the first pitch to Barnes. That is shot, and that is foul. Yeah. Oh, because most of the games say most of the games I do run are modded. So like, when you saw me play Hearts of Iron, I had Beautiful Anime Generals and Road to 56. When I play, what do you call it? When I play Unreal Tournament, it's custom maps. I have custom models and makes for when I did the bot tournament. Custom characters, custom mutators. All of your, yes, because I was going to say that FMRTE is used for FM, and it's, so that's the mod for 23, and then for 24, it's FMRTE and Dan FM Database's custom database. I also use the SAS skin, so that's a modification as well. What else? What else do we play? Pangya doesn't have mods, but it's private server, so it's kind of like a standalone mod. ATS, Euro Truck Simulator, you mean? Yeah. That I have mods for that. Yep, because I run pro mods on ETS2. Action Timinin doesn't have any mods. There's really only one kind of mod you can get for Action Timinin, and I don't have an interest in getting that mod. What else? Same with Dead or Alive Extreme Phoenix. But actually, I don't even know if you can mod Dead or Alive Extreme Phoenix Vacation, but I'm not interested in doing so either. I actually have mods for Rise of Nations as well, but I just haven't run them. The mods are essentially custom single-player campaigns. Somebody can make their own single-player campaign, which I think is really cool. But yeah, all sorts of stuff. If I played PGA more, I'm sure I would look up mods for that. But I have also, and then games I play offline, I have mods for as well. I have a few mods for Stellar Blade. I have a few mods for Skyrim. I haven't touched Skyrim in months. Same with Stellar Blade, and I need to get back into Stellar Blade. But there's like a mod that instead of having to do all the side quests to collect all the whatever it would be, outfits or extensions for your robot or droid or anything like that, you can just buy them in the shop that they have in the game, like with the in-game currency. So that's a modification. But yeah, I play most of my games modded. Here's Ross Barnes. It's just a much better experience. That swung on and missed. It's 0-2. I find that mods make games more enjoyable. I really do. I've always played mods. I mean, I've been playing modded games probably since I was a Unreal Tournament 99 player. You know. Here's the 0-2. That's high and in. 1-2. A lot of my tags I don't feel like changing every stream, so I leave them to kind of give viewers a understanding of what to expect on the stream. That's why I put cheats as one, because I know a lot of people. There are people who are very anti-editor, anti-FMRTE. That was a ball. 0-2. I double tapped the key. So I put cheats in as a tag so that people know up front, like, there is usage. I have an FMRT command, so I people know, like, I have no shame about saying it. That's how I enjoy playing the game, you know. Yeah, I was just messing with you, but I was curious if you needed any mods to start select. No, that's built. That's the great thing about Out of the Park is the 18 like all those seasons and the players. It's all built into the base game. It's literally, and that's so awesome. Like it's so cool. If SI ever did anything like that for Football Manager, that game would explode, dude. That game would be insanely more popular. It's already a heavily popular game, but that game would be crazy if they ever added anything like that. And it's definitely within SI's capability to do it if the studio ever expands, like in terms of the number of people that work for it and the popularity of the game continues to grow. That it's definitely possible for them to do something like that. Here's the 2-2. And that's high, ball 3. I'm not even saying, and I told Mad in this, I don't even think they need to go back to like 1888, where it's the first season of like, you know, the football league or whatever. I think what they do is they just go back to like Champman 99, and they look at all of the whatever attributes they gave for their players in all the previous editions of FM. Just load that into the current FM. So if I select, say, 1999, and in Champman 1999 there were only 8 countries available to play, I can only play those 8 countries in the save, you know? And then because obviously FM's added leagues over the years. So, like, I'm not able to, like, don't even do Japan 2023, 2022, but if I start a save in 2000, and I get 25 seasons in, Japan should become playable. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't have to do all. It cuts down the amount of work that they have to do. But that would be cool because they have had some of those leagues playable for like 30 years, and that would be really cool, you know. So that's when they have the data. Yeah, exactly. So, right, here's the full count pitch to Ross Barnes. He's grounded out over to second. That's on to first, and he will be retired. Good infielding right now from Chicago. Poor infielding from Rockford, and you can tell the difference. It's 6-0. That's going to bring up Lip Pike. Reach via fielder's choice is last at bat. Here's the first pitch. And that is shot in over to left field. Fair ball, says the first base umpire. He's going to go to second, and Lip Pike's got himself a double. That's going to bring up Doug Allison, the catcher. He's 0 for 1 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Allison. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Popped up in the infield. Shortstop's got it, and that will retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go top 4th here in Rockford. Chicago maintaining a 6-0 lead. New ending means new sponsor. Raz is an awesome FM streamer. Great Portsmouth fan. Really cool guy to talk to. Go give him a follow if you haven't already. He's a fantastic FM streamer. Raz DeBeer is our sponsor for this 4th inning here today. Levy Mayerly will settle in. He has reached twice via an error so far today. 76th pitch already for Dick McBride to start this 4th. Here it is. That's high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Shot into right center field. That's a base hit, and it's going to be extra bases as well. This could be a triple. Going to second, and he's going to try and stretch for 3. The throw comes in. Safe is the call. And Levy Mayerly's got a leadoff triple for Chicago here in the 4th. I have huge news for. It's not huge news. I shouldn't. I should never. It's bullshit news. But I have news to report to Lou when Lou comes in, if he does, or next time I see Lou. I'm literally watching the final. Hey, let me grab him. See, now that I took phone verification off, I get those guys. um. Oh, I wrote Mayerly in the wrong ending. I wrote him in the third. This is the fourth. Let me just correct that real quick. Triple. I'm on the last video of day 9 of the Paralympics. So I'm sorry, day 10 of the Paralympics. So I'm almost into day 11. I'm actually almost done watching the Paralympics. So, right, here's Scott Stiers. He is 1 for 2 so far today. First pitch from McBride. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to third. It's through the third baseman's legs. It's a base hit. Coming in to score will be Levy Mayerly. And Gad Stiers has got himself an RBI single. Run on first, nobody out. That's going to bring up Mart King. Here's the first pitch to King. That's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, they go to third. He didn't go. It's 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That is just going to land foul. 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Into the seats, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. That's popped up into shallow right. Right fielder's coming in. He will make the crab. And that will retire the first runner here of the inning. Everett Mills will settle in. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's the first pitch. Popped up into the seats. It'll be 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to second. On to second for 1. On to first, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave the bases empty. We go bottom 4th here in Rockford. Chicago's extended their lead. It's 7-0. Joe Start, the first baseman, will be due up first, but we are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom fourth here in Rockford. 7-0 Chicago. Joe Start settling in. He is 0 for 1, having grounded out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. Called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined over the shortstop's head. Base hit, and Joe Start has got a leadoff single for Rockford. First leadoff runner the Forest Citys have had all game. That'll bring up George Bird. He also grounded out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. And that is a ball, 2-0. Or 2-1. Here's a 2-1. Inside, ball 3. George Bird has got himself a hitter's count here. Here's the pitch. He shot that right at the third baseman, who gloves it for the out. That'll bring up George Wright. He's 1 for 1 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Wright. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Benny, what's up, Pix? Here's the 0-1. Over to second. It's a bad throw, and it's an E6. Going to second is Joe Start. Right support on an E6. On its first and second, 1 out here in the fourth. Curacao versus Ivory Coast in Philly. That might be worth going to see. That'll be the cheapest game of the tournament. Yeah. You know what else is in Philly? I think Brazil and Haiti, which is a little bit more appealing because the Union's Danley Jean-Jacques plays for Haiti, and Lucas Paquetá plays for Brazil. So I would get to see a Union guy in the World Cup and a West Ham guy in the World Cup. Today must be a very, very long stream for you, but it's going to be, yes. We have Brazil, Morocco, which might be expensive, yeah. But I'd love to see that. And West Ham, yeah. I'm not going to buy tickets to anything, though. I already know. I don't have the money for it. I mean, I would be 700 level at the link if I did. You know? Like, I don't know. I'll think about it. If Gotti Gator, who's the guy I follow on Twitter, he's a real nice guy. He's from Jamaica, New York. If he comes down, he's Haitian. If he comes down to Philly for the Haiti game, I might reach out to him and be like, hey, yo, let's go watch fucking Haiti together. Because he's going to be in amongst the crowd doing the dancing and stuff like that. He's that kind of Haitian. And I'm like, I want to be a part of that. So if you come down, like if he comes down from New York, and I reach out, or he wants to go to the game, and I reach out to him and say, I'll get his tickets, you bring the vibe, then we might go together. That might be cool, you know? I think Ivory Coast vs. Curacao might get tickets under 100 to be honest. Jesus Christ. Under 100. Aldi was good, bro. How are you, man? Surely you go for an experience. I mean, I agree, but like, I can't be bled dry because of it. You know what I mean? Nosebleeds, but still, you know, yeah. I'm good, man. How are you doing? I'm all right, man. I'd be better if we were winning this game. We're not. We're getting smoked, dude. Here's Dick McBride, the pitcher. He's due up first. He singled his last at bat. Here we go. That's a ball, 1-0. Do I want to go to the World Cup? Yes, absolutely. What I also want to do in 2026 that requires money, new emotes, a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series 1, and a Nintendo Switch 2, and a Steam Deck. So I don't think I'm going to have the money for everything. You know what I mean? I'm going to wait and save for the next World Cup, hoping we get there. Hey, man. Pixel, here's the 1-0 pitch. And that is lined in, base hit. McBride delivers the second base hit of the afternoon. Going to third is Joe Start. George Wright goes to second. And the bases are loaded for Rockford here in the fourth. They have to bring some of this home. Bases loaded, 1 out. Cap Anson's at the plate. Top of the order. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Anson. And he's fouled that down the first base side. Benny, would you not be better waiting to get a PS6 at this rate, though? No, because the games I want to play are actually for the PS4, and the PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4 games. So if the PlayStation 6 comes out, that might not have the capability to play the PlayStation 4 games I want. So I actually don't want PlayStation 5 games. I mainly want PlayStation 4 games. So, and the 5 is backwards compatible. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded to the backstop. It'll be 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Grounded. Cello! It's great to see you, man. I hope you're well. I still feel bad about last night, man. But I know you're not bothered by it. It bothered me. Because I should have thought and known better. And I didn't. But it's great to see you, brother. You're up to 5th. You're up to fucking 5th in the standings, dude. That's insane. That's crazy. Don't be, dude. All good. All right. I appreciate that, man. Oh yeah, PS6 will be for PS5 games, but might not be for. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So, and the games I want look better on the PlayStation 5 because the hardware on the PS5 is better. So like you can actually play. Like it's the same reason why I would want the Switch 2 and not the Switch 1. I want to play Nintendo Switch games. I don't really want to play anything that's on the Switch 2. But the frame rate for Switch 1 games on the Switch 2 is significantly better on the Switch 2. So it's like I would buy, and that's also backwards compatible with the Switch. So it's like I would buy the Switch 2 and then just pick up the Switch 1 games, right? So, yeah. Cello, you got Curacao, Côte d'Ivoire. You lucky bastard, yeah. That's going to be a good time. World Cup's going to be a good time. So, right. Oh, my God. You did not need to do that, my man. That is super appreciative. Thank you. 5 gifted subs, dude. Holy moly. Who got one? A Painted Ocean. Ticker got one. Joy got one. And Viva La Corona. Cello, you didn't need to do that, man. Thank you so much, man. I'm just writing it down right now. Love you, brother. That's some hype shit right there. You are going to get a shout out. We give everybody shout outs here. When we do Out of the Park, you get a shout out at the one person gets a shout out at the top of the inning. And they're the sponsor for the inning, right? Because we're playing an American sport. We might as well. I'm in a good mood. You know what? That's fucking big 3 points. Here's the 0-2 to Anson. And he has popped that up in the infield. Second baseman's come in for it. He will glove it. And Anson is retired. That's going to bring up George Hall. Hall is needed. He's tied for the league lead in home runs with 3. He's got 10 RBIs so far this season, and he's got the bases loaded with 2 outs here. Welcome in, Kit. So if Rockford want to get back into this game, it has to be this at-bat here. Here's the first pitch to George Hall. And that is shot in the left. Is it going to carry? It's off the top of the wall. It will be extra bases. It will be runs. Going into second is George Hall, and he's got himself a 2 RBI double here. And Rockford are on the board. It's 7-2. Coming in to score is Joe Start from third. George Wright will score from second base. Dick McBride will stop at third. And George Hall has delivered a shot that gets Rockford on the board. Slide finally realized he needed to drop solid. Yeah, he's not played well, has he? At all. That'll bring up Ross Barnes. 8 RBIs so far this season. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs here. Rockford now trailing by 5. That's a called strike. You gotta love the stadium noise. None of them have. They look flat in Yorkshire. Yeah. I think we do. Yeah. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. I wish the Union played today, Skull. That would have been nice. I wouldn't have been streaming if that was the case. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's way high. 1-2. Yeah. Today is the final. Yeah, literally the same time I have Unreal Tournament commentary as the MLS Cup final. Here's the here's the 1-2 pitch. That's inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Chop foul. It'll remain 2-2. 7:30 p.m. GMT. You assume you wouldn't do the commentary? Yeah, I'd be at the game. We were guaranteed to host the final had we made it there, Skull. So no matter who was the opponent, we would be guaranteed to have hosted the final had we made it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be here. Here's the 2-2, and that's chop foul. We'll do it again. The Unions are masters of disappointment. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's high, ball 3. Here's the full count pitch. And Barnes grounds this over to short. On to first, that's in time, and the side is retired. 2 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go top 5th here in Rockford. 7-2 Chicago. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings will be Charlie Hodes. Thank you again for the hype train, Cello, and the 5 gifted. Man, you're a class individual, dude. You're an absolute class individual. Who says Americans are bad people, man? Between Cello picks, let's go. Let's go. Good people. Great people, actually. Right. New inning means new sponsor. Skull Crusher is a Football Manager streamer who also streams Rainbow Six Siege, a little bit of Call of Duty, but he's got a really great save going in Football Manager. Give him a follow if you haven't already. He's a wonderful Irishman. Skull Crusher is our sponsor for this 5th inning here today. First pitch coming up to Hodes, and that's taken inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike. It finds the black on the outside part. of the plate, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2. It's 1-2. It's a fun game. So I'm pretty sure you've played out of the park before. Have you not? I thought you did. Here's the 1-2. That's off the plate away. 2-2. Welcome to 1871, by the way. Here's the 2-2. That's off the plate. 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Off the plate, ball 4. And Hodes has drawn the walk. I played it back when it was season ticket baseball. 20. Wow. Gonna go live, Benny Man. Hope I have you on my phone. And W Cellophane. Yeah, W Cellophane. Have a great stream, Aldi. Thank you for being here, brother. That is a long, long time ago. I got my start gaming with Micro League Baseball on my Apple. Oh, my God. Your Apple IIc? Bro. I never had one of those. I have had an Apple Macintosh before. Remember when they came with those big blue CRT or monitors? Like, I had one of those. I would make my own league schedules. That's pretty cool. There was a website that was like that, and I'm a big fan of tournament.com, TOORNAMENT. Fantastic website for running things like that. Your own leagues, your own schedules, esports, stuff like that. I did that shit by hand. Yeah, I know. But there was a website back in the day that I still miss very, very, very greatly, because tournament is great, but it cannot do American-style sports. It can't do conferences and divisions. It has no clue how to do that. And there was a website back in the day called Schedule Runner. And Schedule Runner let you do that. You could sort teams into divisions. And it could even generate schedules based on teams that were in uneven divisions. So like one division had 4 teams, one division had 3 teams. So I had 19 friends of mine and myself. We used to be big Dead or Alive players. I mean, I still love that game. Here's Sam Jackson, by the way, settling in. We'll do the pitch. But what we used to do, that's grounded over to second. He's got the first, and he's only going to get the first, so it'll be a fielder's choice. 4-6 fielder's choice. Jackson takes first base, and there's one out here. So what we did is we picked one of the flags that you could create a profile in the Dead or Alive game. This was back DOA 3, DOA 2U days, right? So, and every one of us chose to represent a country. And that's how we sorted the divisions. So, like, we chose an Asian division, and the Asian division had Japan, China, Hong Kong, and Korea in it. And then, like, there would be a Commonwealth division, and that had Australia, United Kingdom in it, and I think New Zealand in it as well, right? And that was how we did the divisions, right? And we would go on Schedule Runner, and we figured out, like, if you're in a 4-team division, you play every team in your division X number of times. And then then you play every other team that's not in your division but in your conference Y number of times. And every team that's not in your conference Z number of times. And we figured out a formula where even though some divisions had 3, some divisions had 4, everybody was going to play each other everybody's going to play the same number of games, right? And Schedule Runner, we loaded all that info into it, and it would take like an hour or 2 back in the day, but it would generate the schedule, and he'd be like, here's your entire season schedule for you. And I'm like, and no website has been able to do that since. Here's Cherokee Fisher. And that website, I lived in Philly when that website exists, not even in the apartment, right? And I have, so that was like, we're talking, this was like, Schedule Runner was existing like 2006 days, 2008 days, like around there. Here's the first, and that's inside ball one. And it was great because then we would like play against each other in Dead or Alive, and we would make it so that X number of people, like that won their division or whatever, and the next best team. That's a check swing. We go to first. Umpire says he didn't go. It's 2-0. Made playoffs. So we had it. So like 8 teams made playoffs. I think it was the 3 division winners and the next best fighter from their conference made the playoffs. And we played. That's how we did the whole year. We would stay back after school. Somebody would bring their Xbox 360 or not 360. It was just original Xbox every day to school with them. And we rotated. Like I would do Thursday, somebody else would do Friday. And for an hour and a half afterwards, we would just play Dead or Alive and do our fights the whole school year. It was awesome. What a memory. What a great time. Here's the 2-0 to Cherokee Fisher. That is lined into right, and that is going to land foul. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1. That is shot in the left. That is also going to land foul. But yeah, that's why I miss that website so much, because I do that stuff offline now, like simulated leagues and stuff like that. I do that stuff offline. I have tournament pages that are for simulated leagues that I run between just the CPU and stuff. I went to Central High School. I'm a Central 265, 265, 265. So, for those that don't know, Central is such an old high school. It's been around since before the Civil War. But Central's such an old high school that you don't refer to yourself in like as class of 2000, class of 2001, class of 2002. You refer to yourself as the 265th graduating class. So I have a friend who's 251. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So really cool stuff. Really, it's a really cool place. I have so much appreciation, and the reason I'm very proud of Philadelphia is because of Central and what I was able to learn while at Central, because it's such an elevated standard of teaching at Central than other public schools in the city. And that's not to look down on other public schools, and I'm a big proponent of public schools, but it's I think they're really great for everybody, but the standard you had to meet a certain standard to get into Central. So to go there for 4 years and meet people from all across the city, as this is shot into right field, it'll be a base hit for Cherokee Fisher. It's also an error. Oh, no. Going to third base is going to be Charlie Hodes. Cherokee Fisher gets the second, so it'll be an E9. Right fielder Lip Pike making the error. It's Rockford's 6th error of the afternoon. So Central is a very unique animal. It is extremely unique. It is the only high school in the entire nation that can confer academic degrees that colleges would confer on people. It's the same concept as Fame without all the singing and dancing. That's a reference that's over my head. And yes, I have that degree. If you graduate with a 2.0 GPA, you get a high school diploma. If you graduate with a 3.0 or above, you get a Bachelor of Arts. And I graduated with a 3.1. Here's George Betchel. He is 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch to him, that is inside, ball one. Second and third, one out here. Here's the 1-0. That is popped up into the seats. The only thing I have to be careful is watch my time. I got an hour and a half left. No, yeah, an hour and a half left before we got to swap over. So here's the 1-1. That is into right, base hit. It's runs. It is runs. Betchel's got himself an RBI. It's a single. Scoring is Charlie Hodes. Going to third is Cherokee Fisher. And it is now 8-2. A public night school that does not pull geographically is fascinating. That's true. That is true. That's going to bring up Bill Kelly. Kelly is 0 for 2 so far today. Yeah, high school. Public high school does not pull geo. I mean, it kind of does, because I don't know if you have to be in Philly to go to Central, but it pulls. Obviously, it just pulls from Philly. But yeah, it's not like Olney or Northeast or Strawberry Mansion or anything like that. Here's the first pitch. That's 1-0. I saw a reel about that the other day. Somebody was like, "Oh, the nicer I come from England, and in England, the nicer the town name, the nicer the area." You know what I mean? And she was explaining like some name that has like Rose in it in England. It's like, oh, it's such a lovely upscale area. She goes, so I moved to Philadelphia, and I decide Strawberry Mansion is probably the nicest part of the city. I'm like, oh no. Oh, no. Like, nice town, yeah. She's like, Strawberry Mansion's good, right? Oh, no. It's arguably one of the worst areas of the city, by the way. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. But then again, Philly just doesn't really have a lot of nice areas left in it. Like, Bustleton is okay. Fox Chase is good. Ronhurst is like, it's not too bad, but like Strawberry Mansion's bad, North Philly's bad, West Philly's bad, South Philly, University City is horrible. It's just not. It's not great. Whitman's not really that. Whitman's like, it's not really that great. So, Center City's hit or miss. There's the 1-1. That is a called strike. The throw over to second is not in time, and George Betchel has his third. That's his fourth stolen base of the afternoon. Chestnut Hill, West Mount Airy, Andorra, kinda, yeah. Like Fairmont Park, awful. Fairmont area is just really bad. Yeah. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's high, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. Off the plate away, 3-2. Here is the 3-2 pitch. And he's walked him. It's a base on balls. I believe that's the third base on balls now by, I think it's the second. No. It's the second walk for Bill Kelly alone. No, it's the third. Charlie Holtz walked earlier this inning. Fairmont is better. A lot of new construction. Yeah, new construction, a.k.a. gentrification. But like, is it Richmond? Port Richmond? Not really great. Like, Fishtown's okay. It's a lot of drugs in Fishtown, but it's not anything like, it's not a huge amount of violent crime compared to the other parts of the city. But it's going to bring up Levy Mayerly. Here's the first pitch to Mayerly. And he's grounded that foul. I mean, I wouldn't want to be caught in Fairmont after the sun goes down. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded over to third. At home. Do they get him? They got him at home. On to first. Save it first. Fielder's choice. It's a fielder's choice. It is a 5-3 fielder's choice. Trying to go home on the play was Cherokee Fisher. He's thrown out. Betchel goes to third. Kelly gets to second, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs here. It's going to bring up Gad Stiers. Stiers is 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs so far this season. Here's the first pitch. That's off the plate inside, 1-0. I mean, you want to talk about gentrification. Port Richmond, that's what they've tried to do on the waterfront. Penn's Landing and all that stuff, that's all that is. 1-0, that's inside and low, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Off the plate away, 3-0. So, you got it. Triple passing for later. Make sure you redeem the other 2. I know you're good for them, but there you go. Here's the 3-0, and he's walked him on 4 pitches. It's the 4th walk of the game. Dick McBride is having a nightmare, and he's walked a run home. It's also an RBI for Gat Stiers. It's an RBI walk. Coming in to score is Bechtel. Kelly goes to third. Stiers goes to second, and Chicago has regained their 7-run advantage. That's going to bring up Mark King. He is 1 for 3 so far today with an RBI. Here's the first pitch to King. And that is going to be a passed ball. And coming in to score is Bill Kelly. And it is 10-2. Mayerly gets to third. No, Mayerly gets to third. Going to second is Stiers. And it's now second and third with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0 to King. That's shot into left. Coming in for it. He's made an error. He's made an error. It's an error on the foul ball. Does that count as an error? It does. It's an E7. It was the end of the inning, and George Hall dropped it. His first error, the 7th for Rockford. And the inning continues. It's a foul ball. Here's the 1-1. And he's fouled that 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That's another passed ball. Are you kidding? Coming in to score is Mayerly. Stiers gets to third. And 2 passed balls have made it 11-2. Here's the 2-2 to Matt King. He's taking that high, or Mark King. It's taking that high, 3-2. Here's the full count pitch. And he shot that into right center, but the right fielder is there, and finally the side is retired. 4 runs on just 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 5th. And it is now 11-2 Chicago. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys is right fielder Lip Pike. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Okay. Welcome back. 11-2, bottom 5th here. We got an hour and a half before our Unreal Tournament. We'll be doing that at 2:30. It's currently 1 o'clock. Here's Lip Pike to settle in. He's going to lead off. Pike is 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to him. And he's grounded that foul. Look at the contrast. This is going to be the 69th pitch for Cherokee Fisher. Dick McBride has taken 119 to get through 5 innings today. Here's the pitch. And that is shot over towards the second baseman on to first, and that is going to be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Doug Allison, the catcher. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Allison. He takes that inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He's fouled that into the seats. It'll be 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's lined foul down the third base side. It will remain 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Grounded over to second. On to first. That's in time. And that's the second out of the inning. 4-3 seems to be a very common scoreline here on the half of the Rockford Forest Citys. Joe Start, George Bird 4-3'd in the second. Ross Barnes 4-3'd in the third. And now Lip Pike and Doug Allison have 4-3'd here in the fifth. I'll be right out. Here's Joe Start, first baseman. Start is currently 1 for 2 so far today. First pitch to Start. He's popped it up. Shallow right. Second baseman's there. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top sixth. 11-2, Chicago. Root. What's good, Root? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. I should do FM with this mic? Absolutely not. I sound a lot better on it than a headset mic, though. I know that. Right. New inning, new sponsor. Aldi is an excellent FM manager streamer. I said FM manager. He's an awesome FM streamer. He's live right now. Go give him a follow if you haven't already. Aldi is our sponsor for today's 6th inning. It's been a bit of a slog here from the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds. How you doing, by the way, Rude? I hope you're doing well, man. Game time, 1 hour 45. So, we do one for the whole inning. And right now, Cellophane is on tap for the 7th. Kit's on tap for the 8th. Zig's on tap for the 9th. And I'll give you the post-game show. So, there you go. Right, top 6th. Here we go. I go by the order people come in usually with it, just because that's easiest for me, I guess. Right, there's been a pitching change. We've had this needed to happen freaking 2 innings ago. But there has been a pitching change. So McBride goes 9 innings on 119 pitches. He didn't get a lot of support, and a lot of help in the field, but he's also walked quite a few. Yeah, I'm doing well, getting kids to bed. Then I have 6 games left till the end of the season. Let's go. How you looking in the season? Because when I tapped back in yesterday to see how you were after I finished work, you had already ended. And I was like, damn. So I didn't get to see where you were. Frank Fleet will take the mound for Rockford. Fleet's got a 9.2 ERA in 14.2 innings pitched. 1-2 record for him so far this season. Everett Mills settles in the plate. He is 0 for 3 so far today. 5 points cleared, playoffs secured, but title is in the sights. Let's go. This is League 2, right? First pitch from Fleet here. That's inside, ball 1. Oh, yeah. Let's go. That's awesome. Here's the 1-0. That's grounded over. That's through the legs of the second baseman into center. And Everett Mills has got a leadoff single. And here's a stat for you. Chicago has had the leadoff runner aboard in every inning so far except the third inning. That's going to bring up Charlie Hodes. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. Here's the first pitch to Hodes. That's lined right at the first baseman. Can he get to the bag himself? Yes, he can. It's a double play, an unassisted double play from first baseman Joe Start. A UDP3 is how that gets scored. Unassisted double play by the first baseman. Very bad base running from Everett Mills, and now there's 2 outs and nobody on for Chicago. Sam Jackson will settle in. He's 1 for 3 today. First pitch to Jackson. That's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Grounded over to third. On to first. That's in time, and that retires the side. No runs on 1 hit. Nobody left on base. We go bottom 6th here in Rockford. 11-2 for Chicago is the score. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. All right, welcome back. Bottom six here in Rockford. Chicago with an 11-2 lead. It'll be George Bird, center fielder, settling in. Bird is 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch from Cherokee Fisher. That's high inside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Grounded right back to the mound. Over to first. That's in time. And that's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up George Wright, the shortstop. Wright is 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Wright. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's lined right at the center fielder. And that'll be the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Frank Fleet. I got to write him in here. Fleet is currently 2 for 6 on the season with 1 RBI. Here he is taking the first pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Grounded over to short. On to first, in time, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top 7th. Chicago's got an 11-2 lead. He's an awesome football manager streamer. He's an awesome Philadelphian. He recently just had dinner with Merrill Reese, the voice of the Philadelphia Eagles. Go give him a follow. What a fantastic fan, just human being. He's also a real big Everton fan. Mr. Cellophane is our sponsor for this 7th inning here today. Chicago, 11-2 to lead. Hey, Bobby, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. What up, my Gimpo brother? What's up, Bobby? Having my OBS chat being extremely small font sometimes is not the best idea. Just got home watching the Dutch footy. Nice. Rather I didn't. I say the same thing most weekends when I have to watch West Ham United play. Right. Top set. I wrote you down the follow. I didn't write you down the viewer. Let me write you down the viewer. Bobby. FGC Mast. There we go. Right. Cherokee Fisher is going to settle in here. He is 3 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Cherokee Fisher. Check swing. They go to third. No swing. Changed quite. Been ages since I played this. Changed quite a bit. This is my very first year ever picking up this game, and I've had a lot of fun. For context, we are playing through the very first season of professional baseball in the United States. It is 1871. It is the 8th of June in 1871. The Chicago White Stockings are 4-3. They are traveling to Rockford in what is like an Illinois derby, because Rockford is also in Illinois. Rockford started the season really rocky at 2-6. They've since turned it around at 5-8. trying to get back into the division because I think Chicago is actually the top team in the American League right now. I'm sorry, in the National League at 4-3. So, it's still there to play for, but they're not. No, there's only 9 teams in the league because this is pre-Major League Baseball. So the teams are the Cleveland Forest Citys, the Rockford Forest Citys, the Chicago White Stockings, the Boston White Stockings, the Philadelphia Athletics, the New York Mutuals, the Troy Haymakers, the Fort Wayne Kekiungas, and there's one. The Washington Olympics are the last team. So that's it. There's 9 teams. Right. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Cherokee Fisher. That's down low, 2-0. Probably would have done a decent job at shortstop in the 1800s, considering I'm 6'9". That's big. I'm not even that tall. That's tall. Maybe, but you remember, this is an era of baseball where there were no gloves, and pitchers threw underhand. Here's the 2-0. That's off the plate, 3-0. 3-0 pitch. Taking all the way is Fisher, and that's a called strike. It's 3-1. 3-1 pitch. That is absolutely ripped at the left fielder, but it's literally right at him, and that will retire Cherokee Fisher. L7 I'm going to put that down as instead of F7. That was ripped right at him. No gloves and underhand. Sounds like softball to me. That's how baseball started. So. Right, George Betschel will settle in. He is 1 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch. Oh, this isn't. It's Ed Mincher, and that's a ball, 1-0. So now I got to write in Ed Mincher. He'll play left field. This is the 7th, right? Yeah, 7th. 4-1. And then Betschel subbed 7th. There we go. To be fair, history-wise, I'm a clueless European. I do know ball, but not that deep. I just think it's really cool that they have all that. Like, these are actually the real players that played in 70. Lip Pike is a Hall of Famer. Cap Anson is a Hall of Famer. Like, these guys are Hall of Fame in the Baseball Hall of Fame because of what they did with the league that existed before Major League Baseball. So, and I think I think it's cool that they have all that history. I mean, it's amazing they have all that history, you know. White Stockings, White Sox. I see what the owners did there, yeah. That's literally how teams were named back then. Here's the 1-0 to Ed Mincher, and that's a called strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He's hit him. He's hit him. He's hit Ed Mincher. And so Mincher's aboard on a hit by the pitch. That'll bring up Bill Kelly. Kelly is 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Here's the first pitch to Kelly. Swung on a miss. It's 0-1. Should see some of the Dutch amateur football sides have about 7 letters in their name with each letter meaning 1 word. That's crazy. That's just crazy. So here's the 0-1 pitch. That's inside, ball 1. Is the Dutch language like that as a whole? Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's popped up right at the shortstop. He'll make the play, and that'll be out number 2. We're gonna have another substitution. Bill Barrett will come in. He's substituting in for Levy Mayerly. Welcome in, Katie. Here's the first pitch, to Bill Barrett. That is inside, ball one. Barrett is taking his very first at bat this season. Here he is with the 1-0. And he's lining that straight at the center fielder. And center fielder will catch it, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits. They leave one aboard. We go bottom seventh here in Rockford. Chicago's got an 11-2 lead. Not per se. We do have a lot of words with similar meaning to each other, like you got, which means you got wash. Wash means wash, but it also means wear, and it means wax. I could go on. Okay, that all right. I know what you mean though. Right. It's seventh inning stretch time here. So as always, as tradition, we are going to get up. I'm going to stretch the legs. We are going to play you Harrison Sheckler's rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." We are going to be back in about 2 minutes with the bottom of the seventh. Enjoy the time-honored American tradition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I actually need one more minute here. All right. For someone that knows, all right, hang on. Let me turn Firefox audio off. Whenever people are like, I want to learn Dutch, I just go, why? Just speak English to me. Yeah. Some baseball animes I've watched. Nice. For someone who knows little about baseball but is curious, how easy / hard would this game be to get into for me? It's as addictive as Football Manager. uh, it's very addictive. And it can be difficult, I would say. Like, you're going to probably struggle your first 5-6 seasons because there's just so much to baseball now, like Rule 5 drafts and all that other stuff, waivers. But, um, like, I don't even know how this game operates itself. This is my first year playing, and I'm not even playing it. I'm just commentating it. Like, the CPU is playing this game. So I don't even know how difficult it can be. But you do get the hang of it. Most people who play a career mode and not the perfect team, because perfect team is like FIFA Ultimate Team, except without taking all your money. So most people that play it and play the career mode will get the hang of it. And then there's also perfect team. Perfect team is FIFA Ultimate Team, but you don't have to spend money, real money, to buy the packs. So, many good things, many not so good things. Yeah. I don't blame anybody for still playing 24. Like, I play 23. The save that I'm going to do after the Unreal Tournament is 23. Because I'm having a blast on 23. And not everything that I can do on 23 is in 26. So I'm not even gonna consider it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep playing 23. I love baseball sims, but my player development skills are just awful. Yep. Also, is there an NFL management game that anyone could recommend as I understand more about it? That I don't know. You know who would be a really good person to ask that, Rich? Welcome in, by the way. Big man on campus. Big man on campus, 88. Chuck, as everyone knows him. But yeah, he's big into American football. And I know there's one that he plays for college football that's like college football head coach or something like that. But, yeah. Big if I'll even buy this year. Only reason I got 24 was because I was free on Epic. Fell in love with it. FM in 22. I still want to buy college football, but I don't have a console, and I ain't going to warrant buying a console for one game. You say that as if I'm not going to do that in 2026. So I can't talk. You're welcome. Right, I got an hour to finish this game and do the post game, so let's get into it. Played 2010 a lot on the PS3 emulator. Oh, man. I played FM10 a lot. I know that. What a game. Cap Anson will lead it off for Rockford here, bottom 7th. Here's first pitch to Anson. That's off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. And that's grounded over to short. The throw on to first in time. And Anson's retired. NCAA 06. I remember playing the basketball version of NCAA, like NCAA basketball 06. Fun game. That made you love the college football. It is a very unique thing over here. I'll say that. March Madness 2010 was an elite game. There you go. I don't think I played that one, but I do remember March Madness 2006. Right. Harry Dean is going to be stepping in, so it's a pinch hitter. Harry Dean. He comes in for George Hall. Nice. I actually watched them play once. I watched one American football game IRL, like in person in my life, and it was Boston College at Virginia Tech. I went to Blackburn to watch it because my uncle, who passed 3 years ago, he went to Virginia Tech, and he wanted me to go to Virginia Tech, and I wanted to go to Virginia Tech. So we went down there to a game, and I went down there to network and apply and all that other stuff. Didn't get accepted, but you also got an ice hockey team thanks to some ice hockey movie. Does it happen to be the Anaheim Ducks? Right, here's Harry Dean. First pitch to him. That's a called strike. It's all one. Yes, quack. Nice. I'm an Oilers fan. We play. It's going to be a long stream tonight because I intend to end when the Oilers game finishes. And the Oilers game does not come on until 10 p.m. tonight. It is currently 1:30 p.m. here. So, right, here's the 0-1. That's going to be low 1-0. Or 1-1, sorry. So, yeah, we're going to go till the Oilers game tonight. I'm an Oilers fan. I've been an Oilers fan for... This is my 20th year being an Oilers fan, so... Always watch the movies on Christmas Day. You're going to get a mighty judge. Hey, let's go. That's awesome. Here's the 1-1. Check swing, but it's in there for a called strike anyway, and it's 1-2. I have one hockey jersey, and it's a 2005 number 34 Fernando Pisani Edmonton Oilers jersey. Here's the 1-2. That's shot base hit. And Dean comes through as a pinch hitter. He's got himself a single. That's sick, to be fair. Yeah, it's a little worn now. It's got some aging. But it's cool. And it's my only hockey jersey. And I was actually looking at... oh, mate. I was looking at a hockey jersey, right? If I wanted the same style of jersey, I want authentic stitched because they last. Hockey jerseys are built to last. If you buy the authentic and the numbers and everything are stitched on, that thing will last you a long time. So I was looking. I want a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins Oilers jersey. That's the player I want, right? And I want it stitched and I want it authentic. It is $700 for the jersey, okay? And... you have to. They make it in Canada because obviously Edmonton is the Canadian team. So they make it in Canada and then ship it to the U.S., which means I will have to pay a import fee on top of the shipping and a tariff on it, which means that $700 jersey is now a $1,000 jersey. Go on, thank you, Skull. Right, here's the first pitch for Ross Barnes, second baseman. He's settling in. Barnes 1 for 3 today. That's outside 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is fouled down the third base side. 1-1. Here's a 1-1. It's going to get by. Maybe a wild pitch. It should be a pass ball. It is a pass ball. And Harry Dean goes to second. Here's the 2-1. That is into right field. Foul. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's grounded over to third. On to first in time. That's the second out of the inning. Once played softball for my dad's work. Got on the base with a fluky hit, but I took it. Yeah, I played softball too a little bit. I played baseball when I was a real short youngin'. That'll bring up Lip Pike. 1 for 3 so far today. Got a double play in the same game. Dove for the ball and threw it to first base. Felt so excited. Nice. Nice. My whole life, yeah. I tried everything here. I tried deck hockey or foot hockey, which is, ice hockey but on the feet. And like an indoor gymnasium. I love that. I was a defender. Oh, damn, Liverpool. I tried basketball. I didn't really like that. I tried American football. I hated that. I liked I mainly play, and I played baseball and football for 4 years. So I started as a midfielder in football, and then I became a defender. Ice hockey, yeah, but it's not on ice. It's you're on like a gymnasium floor. Here's Pike. That is one. It's high and in, 1-0. But that's a lot of fun still, It's a smaller rink, it's like rollerblading. That like some kids do the rollerblading hockey. It's that kind of rink, but instead you just don't wear skates. You just use your sneakers. So that's fun. Here's the 1-0. That's below the knees, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's a called strike. It's 2-1. I've always been a center mid, played left back for a bit after an injury, and then moved to left mid. Imagine seeing a 6'9" guy on the wing. Jesus. Jumping reach was a 20. I played center mid, and then I played defensive mid, and then my coach, I never really had the engine to do either, so they put me at left back, and then I just became a center back. Here's the 2-1. Grounded over to short. On to first. It's a really bad throw, and it's going to be a run. It's an E6 going to second base. It's an E6 for Lip Pike. Going to second base will be Pike. Coming in to score is Harry Dean, and Rockford get a run back. It's now 11-3. Not like my old team, right? Put me on corners because I was the only left-footed player. Oh, wow. I'm right-footed, so I can't talk. I write left-handed, though. The only thing I do left-handed is right in box. Everything else is right-handed. Doug Allison will settle in. He's 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch from Cherokee Fisher. Swung on a miss, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is shot in the left center. Way back there. That's a base hit. That's extra bases. That could be a triple. And it looks like it will be. Doug Allison has come in with an RBI triple. Scoring on the play is Lip Pike, and now it's 11-4. I write left-handed, but I use my PC right-handed. I tie my shoes right-handed. Yeah. Didn't know until I was 20 there was a left-handed way to use a PC. I was like, I never do that. I'm 37. There's a left-handed way to use a PC. What in tarnation? Right, that'll bring up Tom Pratt. He's going to be a substitute for Joe Start. So Start, subbed. 7th. Tom Pratt. 7th for 6. Yeah, the right mouse button turns to the left click. What the hell? Felt so awkward when I tried. Yeah, I can imagine. Because, like, the shape of the mice, like, I have a Zowie Divina, right? And on the Zowie, this side has a little bit of curve where the right finger is, but the left-handed curve is more exaggerated than it is on the right. So it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah, there's left-handed mouse is very rare. I used to use a trackball. I mean, it feels weird to me now because I haven't used it in 15 years, but I used to play Unreal Tournament with a trackball mouse. When I was competing in Unreal Tournament, and I used to play Unreal Tournament a lot, I was a trackball user. Right, here's the first pitch to Tom Pratt. You swung on and missed. That's all one. Here's the 0-1 to Pratt. Grounded over to first. That'll be handled by the first baseman, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go top 8th. It's 11 for Chicago. New inning means new sponsor. Kit was last seen playing out of the... well, hold on. I did not type that correctly. Kit, I'll do the Twitch shout out in a minute, was last playing Risk of Rain 2. Here they are playing Peak. Was that somebody falling? That'd been hilarious. It looked like... Yep. Peak's a great game. They play Mario Party, and they play Mario Kart as well. They are a bringer of chaos. Kit is our sponsor here for today's 8th inning. All right. It is really good. It is a really good game. Right. Another substitution. Birkenstock is going to settle in for Gat Stiers. Played it with Mrs. Clan and the Gaffa. They both rage quit. So I made it to my top of the... Oh, man. There's no need to rage quit. Peak, man. Yeah, it's a great game. I love it. I was watching Grace Tendo and her crew play it last night. Chris, Joyce, Grace, and a few others. And they're genuinely very good at that game, but it's just the chaos is great. I love it. Here's the first pitch to Nate Birkenstock. And that's inside ball 1. There's a 1-0. Swung on a miss, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Called. Strike, it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2.
Strike three.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. One away. That's going to bring up Mark King. He's 1 for 4 today. I've only ever made it to the top on a solo run once. I was actually scheduled to play, or I was actually like, Grace and I agreed to play Peak, and I was going to I was looking for viewers who wanted to play it, and none of my viewers were willing to play it, or wanted to play it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll start a solo run, because Grace wasn't ready. She was like making dinner and stuff. So I remember she comes into the middle of the stream, and I'm in the mesa, and I'm like, I probably got an hour of climbing left, you know? But I had never made it before. And I got to Caldera. There's a clip of it on my channel, but I got to Caldera, and the rock that I was on started to set a fire, but I couldn't move to another rock because the lava, I needed the lava to be down, and the lava was up. So I just sat there and burnt until I was unconscious. Somehow managed to wake up after the burn damage went off, right? And finished Caldera, and then got all the way to the top of the kiln and peaked. With Bing Bong. It was a solo run with Bing Bong as well. Bing Bong got cooked. So this is somewhat like FM, right? I can't remember. You manage and you don't play. You can play. You can tell hitters like swing, swing for a hit, bunt for a hit. Since I'm commentating, we don't, but you can manage you can shift them left and right in the infield if you want and stuff like that. But you don't actually like hit the ball. No, you just tell them what you want to do per at bat. So, but yeah, it is like FM in that sense. Well, if you do ever want to play again, they added new stuff. I never completed it with others. Oh wow, okay. I do plan on it. Yeah, I'll keep you in mind because I want to get. I made. You're welcome, Kit. I got to give you the Twitch one. There you go. There's the Twitch one. I made Ziggurat buy it, and we haven't played it yet. So, and same with Crack Attack. So we'll probably play it, and I'll probably ask you if you want to join in whatever weekend we do play it. Right. This is Mark King. Here we go. First pitch to King. Liverpool are winning, so I missed it. It's all good. Here's the 1-0. We'll have to play it outside now, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. He's popped it up. Shallow center, right behind second. Shortstop's over there to make the play, and that will be the second out of the inning. I'm always around till late anyway. Having a lot of foreign friends makes me stay up till 3, 4 a.m. Yeah. That is the one nice thing about being here is when I wake up, people are on Twitch. When I go to bed, people are on Twitch. Like, it's kind of cool. I don't watch TV now. I just watch Twitch every day. Because I literally don't. The only thing I watch traditional television for is the Premier League and Major League Baseball. That's it. And I don't even like watching some broadcasts of Major League Baseball. When ESPN has the Major League Baseball game, yeah, I OOTP. Yeah, when ESPN has the Major League Baseball game, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it. Fuck it. I can't. I can't stand MLB's broadcast. Right, here's Everett Mills. He is 1 for 4 so far today. First pitch to Mills. That is below that's in the dirt, 1-0. And NBC's coverage of the Prem is exceptional, though. It's exceptional. So, I have a TV for that. Here's the 1-0. That's grounded over towards that's through, base hit, into left. And Mills has got his second knock of the afternoon. That'll bring up Charlie Hodes. He is 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Hodes. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Here is the 0-1 pitch. That is popped deep into left. Way back there. And over the wall it goes. It's a 2-run shot from Charlie Hodes. And he scores. Mills will score. And it's 13-4. That's going to bring up Sam Jackson, the second baseman. He is 1 for 4 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Fleet, or from Fleet. Grounded over to third, and it's an error on the third baseman, Cap Anson. It's his 4th error of the afternoon. It's the 8th error for Rockford, and the inning continues. Cherokee Fisher will settle in, the pitcher. Here's the first pitch to Fisher. He's fouled that to the backstop, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Called, strike 2. Fisher's in a hole now, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's outside, ball 1. 8 errors. Now I don't know much, but I know that's very poor. That was because they didn't use gloves back in the day, though. That was kind of the way. Most games you would have 4 or 5 errors a game. So Pat Witz.
I owe allegiance to no entity.
What's up, Pat?
I intend to live by my own code now.
Let me close your tab, bro. How's your stream? Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. All good, man. How are you? Good, man. Pingu! I've been subbed for 2 months, apparently. Nice. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Thank you, Pingu. Love you guys. A raid and a sub. What's up, Pat? What's up, Pingu? Just writing you down now. 2. Nice. How we all doing? That's the thought that counts. Hey, man. I appreciate it, man. Anyway, sorry, bro. I got to go to bed. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize. Yeah. No, I get that. It's like fucking 3 a.m. there, I think, or something like that. So, yeah. Quietly hopeful for tomorrow myself. Brighton will fight, but I believe. There you go. I'll see you later. Yeah, 3 a.m. Yep. I will still be on. Pat, have a wonderful sleep, brother. Have a great night. Right. Here is the 1-2 to Cherokee Fisher. He's grounded that to the backstop. We go again. 1-2. Sleep well, boss? Absolutely. That is foul down the left field side. The 1-2. Lined right at the shortstop. He will glove it, and that will retire the side. Right. 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave the bases empty. We go to the bottom 8th here in Rockford. Cleveland have jumped out to a 13-4 lead. We are going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom eighth. I've got a half hour to get through this inning and a half. So let's get on with it, shall we? George Bird will settle in for Rockford. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch from George Bird. That's inside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Off the plate away, 2-0. How you been, Pingu? That's a called strike. It's 2-1. I am not hopeful for tomorrow, but still. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's grounded over to third base. On to first. That's well in time. And that'll be the first down of the inning. Fine, 3 on the putout. That'll bring up George Wright. Wright is 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. He's grounded that to the backstop. It'll be 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Right at the second baseman. And for the 6th time in this game, it's a 4-3 putout. Right. That's going to bring up Frank Fleet, the pitcher. He is 0 for 1 so far today. Mossman! Hope all is good with you and the fam. We're good, man. Moss, I don't know if you saw the guy that I posted in your Discord. I feel like a proud dad, man. How you doing, by the way? I hope you're well. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Right. 2 outs here. First pitch to Frank Fleet. Inside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. And that is into right field, but right at the right fielder, and Fleet will be retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top 9th here in Rockford. Cleveland have got a 13-4 lead. New ending means new sponsor. He streams Arc Raiders, PGA Tour 2K25, Football Manager 26. He's an awesome gamer, awesome guy. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Ziggurath is our sponsor for this 9th inning. I did not see anything in the Discord. It's in game saves. I think it's in. Yeah, it's in game saves. It's our former player who wound up, our former striker at Gimpo, when we were at Gimpo, who wound up becoming the Premier League's leading goal scorer for Everton. And he had 28 goals and won the Prem Golden Boot. And he is an absolute monster of a player. Right. This is a substitution. I just don't know who the hell for. He's having Messi in disguise. What did you do to him? I signed him when he was young, and we developed him. And then he went on to was it steroid base? A little bit. But he went on to Everton a season and a half after I left Gimpo. And yeah, what a monster! It's insane. It's insane how good he is. I think this is actually for Bill Kelly. No, we're subbing in Fred Waterman for Ed Mincher. Fred Waterman, left fielder. Ninth for 10. That makes no sense. But anyway. But yeah, what a player. What an absolute beast of a player. Here's the first pitch to Fred Waterman. That is shot into right field. That is a base hit. And Waterman is aboard here in the ninth. How you been though, man? I hope you've been well. All leads have come back. That's not good for us, man. Been better. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better for you, dude. You're not under the weather, are you? This is Bill Kelly now, center fielder. He is 0 for 3 with 2 walks. Here's the first pitch to Kelly. That's ball 1-0. Hey, Gadava. What's good, bro? Here's the 1-0. That is shot into right field, right at the right fielder, and that will be the first out of the inning. Moss, if you want to talk about it, bro, just DM me. You know that. A bit. Had an issue last night at 2 a.m. where a friend's dog needed to go to the vet, so it was not a great night's sleep. Is the dog okay? That's going to bring up Bill Barrett. He's 0 for 1. Run on first, 1 out here in the top 9th. Here's the first pitch. He has lined that into right, base hit. Oh, and it's an error on the right fielder. Would you look at that? So single, and then error on the outfielder gets him to second. Waterman will go to third, and the right fielder, Lip Pike, will make his second error of the afternoon. It is the 9th for Rockford. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so that's very obviously a stressful, emotionally taxing time as well. Right, here's Nate Birkenstock. He is 0 for 1 so far. They struck out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Second, third, 1 out here. Here's the 1-0. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2, and it's 0-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's lined right at the second baseman. That'll be the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Mark King. He is 1 for 5 today. The worst part about those nights you don't get sleep, or like a lot of sleep, is like at some point I feel like during the late breakfast, like early afternoon, midday kind of thing, you feel good and you're like, I can do this. I can get through the day. And then right around to like 4 to 5 o'clock, your body just says, no, what the hell? And then you really start to feel it. Here's the first pitch to King. Off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 to King. He has popped that up deep down the left field side in foul territory. It will land foul. It'll be 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Fouled down the third base side, 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2. How you doing, Kadava? Here's the 2-2. He fouled that to the backstop. It'll remain 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3. 3-2 now. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He's popped that up in the infield. Shortstop's got it. And that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is 13-4 Chicago. Leading off for the Rockford Forest Citys will be Cap Anson. We are going to take our final 90-minute timeout, or 90-second timeout. We'll be back with the bottom of the 9th in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom 9th, 13-4 the score. Blue Rover.
I intend to live by my own code now.
Welcome in, Blue Rover. Thank you for the raid, my man. Let me give you a shout out. Hide your cat snacks, Rover and crew is here. Nice. Blue Rover's a pretty cool streamer. He does a lot of different games, one of which includes Destiny 2. He also does Helldivers 2. So go give him a follow if you haven't already. Fantastic guy to talk to. Real chill. Blue Rover. Man, once in a blue moon, yeah, nice. Sup, dude? I got to run, get ready for work because getting that lightsaber took way longer than I expected. All right, that's fair. Raid and run, all you need, bro. Good luck at work. Have a great rest of your day, man. We are in the bottom of the 9th. We are getting back into it. Rockford need a miracle. I need a miracle. I need a miracle. It'll be Cap Anson settling in. Here's the first pitch to him. Thanks, dude. Enjoy the rest of your stream. I will. Thank you. That's a called strike. It's all I want. We're going to be on for 11 more hours, so we're going to be going quite a bit. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to second. On to first. Anson is retired. That will bring up Harry Dean. He had a single his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Dean. And he has popped this up into left field, or into right field. And making the play is Nate Birkenstock, and that'll retire Dean. That's going to bring up Ross Barnes, second baseman. The final out here for Rockford. That's a long day. I hit 3 hours now, and I'm toast most of the time. When I'm on the weekend, I don't mind it. I take a lot of breaks on the weekend. That's inside ball one. Especially during FM. But I ain't got nothing better to do. You know, like, everything is 30 minutes away. It costs money to fucking just park. I haven't even renewed the registration for my car, and it expired at the end of the month. I haven't driven it since, obviously. But it expired in November, and I got to renew it before I can even take it anywhere. So, might as well stay in and stream. Here's the 1-0. Inside ball 2. Going to be bored playing games anyway. Here's the 2-0. That's it on the inside part of the plate. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off the plate away, 3-1. The 3-1. And he walked him. Barnes is aboard on a walk. I forgot Aronson was back at Leeds. He's still there. Brendan in my FM save cello. Brendan went to LA Scum C. I signed Paxton at Gimpo after he got dropped by all his European clubs. And I think I only signed him for $40K. And he became a good enough player that he went back to the Bundesliga for Union Berlin, which he is a regular starter at now. Here's the first pitch. Off the plate away, 1-0. It's Al Baker who steps in. He's settling it for Soul! Time to play baseball. Welcome in, Soul. Thank you for the sub, bro. Al Barker. Pinch hitter. Ninth. 4. And Lip Pike is subbed out in the ninth. Sub ninth. How you doing, Soul? I was so happy when I signed Quinn Sullivan as a scout in FM24. That's fucking awesome. You got to be happy today, Saul. That's a big 3 points for you, man. That's a big 3 points for you guys. Right, here's the 1-0. And that is lined into right field. Foul. The 1-1. Off the plate away, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Grounded foul. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Grounded over to third. On to second in time. Barker is retired. And the ball game is over. Chicago come to a Rockford that started to pick up some steam recently, and they blow them out of the water. The final here from the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds in Rockford, Illinois is Chicago White Stockings 13, Rockford Forest Citys 4. Right. Let's go over your individual match statistics now. Starting with the Chicago White Stockings. George Bechtel, he had 3 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 RBI. He had 4 stolen bases, by the way. and he scored 3 runs. He had a hell of a game. Bill Kelly had 4 at-bats. He did not get a single hit, but he drew 2 base on balls. He also had 2 runs. Uh, let's see here. Levy Mayerly, he had 5 at-bats. 2 of them were hits. 1 of them was a triple. And he scored 3 runs. I don't have him down as having an RBI. Neither does the game. The game has him the game has him 4-3 with an RBI. Did he score? When did he score the RBI? Was it the 4th? Did he score the RBI in the 4th? No, because that it might have been. I think he did. Yeah, he scored the RBI in the 4th. I'm gonna add that in right here. Sorry, not the 4th. He scored the RBI in the 5th on a fielder's choice. That's what it was. So yes, he has an RBI. Right. Gat Stiers. What a freaking wow. Gat Stiers has 3 at-bats. Okay. 2 of them are hits. 1 of them is a triple. He has 4 RBIs. He also has a base on balls, and he scored 1 run. Mart King has 6 at-bats, only 1 hit, but it was an RBI. Everett Mills, 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 5 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 run. Charlie Hodes, 4 at-bats, 1 hit. It was a home run. He scores 2 RBIs. He drew a base on balls. He struck out. He scored 2 runs. Sam Jackson had 5 at-bats. He had 1 hit, and he scored 1 run. Cherokee Fisher had 5 at-bats. 3 of them were hits. 1 of them was a double. Ed Mincher had no at-bats. He had no at-bats because he was hit by the pitch. His only plate appearance, he was hit by the pitch. So that doesn't count as at-bat. It just counts as a plate appearance. Bill Barrett had 1 at-bat. He did not get a hit. Nate Birkenstock had 2 at-bats. He did not get a hit. He struck out once. And Fred Waterman had 1 at-bat, and he did get a hit. Total at-bats for the Chicago White Stockings: 3, 7, 12, 15, 21, 26, 30, 35, 40, 41, 43, 44 at-bats. Runs: 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Hits: 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 13. I have 14 hits for them. That is correct. Doubles: 1. Triples: 2. Home runs: 1. Base on balls: 4. Just very quickly, they also committed 2 errors, and both of them were shortstop Charlie Hodes. Strikeouts. They struck out twice, right? Twice, I think. Yeah, 2 strikeouts. Stolen bases: 4. No sacks. RBIs: 1, 2, 6, 7. I have 7 RBIs there as well. Right. For the Rockford Forest Citys, Cap Anson had 5 at-bats. He did not get a single hit, and he committed 4 fielding errors. George Hall had 3 at-bats. 2 hits, one of which was a double, and he had 2 RBIs and a fielding error. Ross Barnes had 4 at bats. He had 4 at bats. Um, he had 1 hit and he had 1 base on balls. Lip Pike had 4 at bats. He had 1 hit. It was a double. He scored a run. He committed 2 fielding errors. Doug Allison had 4 at bats. He had 1 hit. It was a triple. It scored an RBI. It was an RBI. Joe Start, he had 3 at bats. He had 1 hit, and he also scored a run. George Bird had 4 at bats. He did not get a hit. George Wright had 4 at bats. He got 1 hit. He also committed 2 fielding errors. Dick McBride had 2 at bats. Both of them were hits. Frank Fleet had 2 at bats. He did not get a hit. Harry Dean had 2 at bats. He did get a hit and he scored a run. Tom Pratt had 1 at bat. He did not get a hit. Al Barker had 1 at bat. He did not get a hit. Um, I'm missing a run somewhere from somebody. George Wright scored a run as well. That's what I'm missing. Right. Total at bats for the Rockford Forest Citys: 5, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23, 27, 20, 31, 33, 35, 37, 39. Runs 4, hits. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's correct. Doubles 1, triples 1, no home runs, 1 base on balls. Did not strike out. Did not steal a base. Did not sack. RBIs, I have 3. Fielding errors, I have 10. I'm sorry, 9. 9 fielding errors. 9 fielding errors. Right. Let's do the pitchers, and then let's do the standings and get out of here because I got Unreal Tournament in three minutes. Uh, Cherokee Fisher, 9 innings pitched, 122 pitches pitched. He walked 1. 4 runs, none of them earned, no strikeouts, and he gave up 10 hits. He is credited with today's win. Dick McBride, 5 innings pitched. I have 119, as his pitch count. Walked 4, struck out 1, gave up 9 hits, 11 runs. Of them, 2 were earned. Frank Fleet, 4 innings pitched. I have his pitch count at 51. He also walked. No, he didn't walk anybody. But he did strike out 1. And he gave up 4 hits, 5 hits, two runs, both of them earned, and McBride is credited with the loss. Rockford go to 5-9. Cleveland go to 5-3. Let's finish today, and then let's look at scores here real quick. Yesterday's score. That was the only game from yesterday. So the next game will be the 5-9 Rockford Forest Citys traveling to Troy to play the 4-10 Troy Haymakers. That is a scrap at the bottom of the table there. Interesting. Let's go to the standings very quickly. Chicago lead the National League by a game at 5-3. Fort Wayne Kekiungas, who are 6-6, are a game back. New York Mutuals are 4-4. They're a game back. Rockford Forest Citys, that's us. We are 3 games back at 5-9. Troy Haymakers are 4 games back at 4-10. So this is a big game coming up for Rockford. In the National League, Boston still leading. They're 8-2. Philadelphia Athletics are a game back at 7-3. Washington Olympics are 3.5 back at 5-6. Cleveland Forest Citys also 3.5 back at 4-5. I'll give you a haymaker. Yeah, the Troy Haymakers. Right. So next game is for OOTP. We'll do is Rockford Forest Citys at the Troy Haymakers. We'll do Rockford at Cleveland the game after that. And the game after that will be Chicago at New York. So, the next game will be the 9th. which I think right now I might do Monday or Tuesday. It's on the schedule. And then the 10th as well will be Rockford, and then it's 2 days off, and we're into the 13th. So we're making progress in terms of the season. Oh my God, it's 3-3 between Leeds and Liverpool. 90th plus 6. Wow, that is it for Out of the Park. Thank you to everybody that came along for Out of the Park. I am going to stop the recording here if you're on YouTube. Thanks for watching.